Show you how to draft out a trouser pattern. First of all, we have to draft out the front part of the trouser because it's the major part of the trouser that we need to draft out the back. Then together they are called trouser. And after joining and putting everything together, you know. So to start, first of all, what we need is the measurement. Minus ½ inch from the side, ½ inch from this side. So this 2½ inch I minus here is useless to me. So to start it first, you can see I've already done some things here, but I'm going to explain what I have done here. To start it first, you place your tape here. When you place your tape at the beginning of the pattern, you take out 7 inches. This 7 inches minus here is the pocket. From here to here is your pocket. So 7 inches, from 1 inch to 7 inches is your pocket. You draft out your pocket. Then from 1 inch to 11 inches is, you draft it out here that you mark out is your zip part. Also here you also have your hip. So two things are involved here, but one is supposed to be at the front, one is going to be at the back. So proceeding further, I'm going to explain more better for you. So you take out straight to where your length is. Moving straight to where your length is, our length that we are using for this pattern is 40 plus 2 inch folding allowance. This allowance is the allowance you will need to fold in the trouser inside after sewing. So to add the folding allowance, so bringing it backward, because you count the measurement backward, 10 inch backward. So 10 inch, let's start from here. We count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So stopping at 30. So from 40 to 30 is 10 inch. So this 10 inch now is also to draft out another part of the length again. So here you minus 2 inch instead of 7 inch from the back. 2 inch here minus is to make the waist slant, to slant the waist, so that you will not have any issue when you are wearing it or saying it's too high or what. So here you also mark your 11. This your 11, don't forget I said the zip part, both zip part and the hip. Also here you will remove your 30, 40 plus 2 inches. So here you place your tape at the last edge of your paper. So removing 2 inch entirely from that paper. So placing my tape here, I mark my 2 inch here. So the same thing I did here, placing my tape here, I mark my 2 inch, which is the upper side, which I told you that is the circumference of the leg. So the 10 inch above. So after then, the circumference of the ankle is 13.5. So this 13.5 divided by 2 is giving me 6.5.2. This, don't forget, 6.5.2. This 6.5.2, plus it together is going to give you 13.5. Let's plus it together so you see 6.5.2 is giving me here 13.5. So 13.5, I mark my 13.5. So just to make my trouser very straight. I don't want it to be big. I want it to be very fitted. So I mark the same thing here. The same 6.5.8 here. So I see that 6.5.8 will be a little tiny. I added what they call 0.2 inches. Then I make here 7, which is here is now 14. But if you like, you can also add like ½ inch, full ½ inch here to make your own. Okay, it's not bad. So proceeding further, I know it's not yet looking like trouser. So that is why we are coming back here. So here now we work with the hip. Hip is 40. You divide it by 4. 40 divided by 4 is giving me 10. So this 10 is what I need to work with. So measure my 10 from here to here. I mark my 10. The same thing I did here at the top of the waist, because we don't need the waist now in the front of the pattern. We don't need the waist. So I took my 10 again. So proceeding further, I also added my 2 inches allowance, which is called zip allowance. So this 2 inches zip allowance is to help me get the perfect curve of the trouser. What I mean by the perfect curve, the one that curves after the zip. So here is my 2 inches allowance. I also included that 2 inches allowance up here. So now let's see what it's going to give us, if it's really going to look like a trouser. So proceeding further, I have to join it together. The same thing I will join here too together. Then equally the back here, from where the circumference of the leg is to where I mark my hip or my zip part, I'm going to join it here to here, then from here to the pocket. My joining is going to stop at where the pocket is. So let's go. To the hip, then to the pocket. Okay, does it look like a trouser yet? Okay, now let's see if it will look like a trouser after adding this. So after adding this, let's see, it's going to look like a trouser. So this is the front pattern of the trouser. We've drafted the front pattern. We are proceeding further to draft out the back pattern. So let's see. We are going to cut out this one first. So this is how I cut it out. So you also know how to cut out your to explain something to you. You see my curve here. When you stop at where your pocket is, you mark, you notch it up. Yeah. So let's now see if it really look like trouser. Oh yes. Okay, yeah. Yes. You can see. This is it. This is how it look like. This is my pocket. This is my pattern. Wow. It's awesome. Okay, welcome back. So here now, I've cut out my front pattern, placing it to cut out the back. So to cut out the back, we just need only 2 measurements to work with. Don't forget, when we are drafting out the front, we have already used the length, we use the hip, and we use the circumference of the ankle. So proceeding further, we are going to cut out the back. So this back now, we are going to work with 2 measurements. We are going to work with the waist, the lap, but we are going to add allowance this time because cut. So now, to draft out the front pattern of the trouser, first of all, what we need to start with is the lap. So the lap here, you minus ½ inch from the front pattern. You minus ½ inch. So minusing this ½ inch is not really useless, also useless. But you use this ½ inch, you need to join the front and the back together when you're sewing it. But measuring the lap, you minus it. So minusing ½ inch, the lap is 24 divided by 2. You don't forget, you divide your lap by 2. You mark 12. When you divide 24 by 2, it gives you 12. 12. Now this time around, we are adding 2½ inch allowance. 2½ inch allowance means from 12 to 13 is 1 inch, 13 to 14 1 inch, then ½ inch 14½. So we are marking 14½. After this, then you make this your line very straight across from the front pattern to the back pattern. So now that I've gotten your line, what you need to do is to get the allowance. So we add 2 inch allowance. So adding 2 inch allowance here, then here you add 2½ inch allowance. So adding 2½ inch allowance here, So this allowance that you added here, why here 2 inch, why here 2.5 inch, is because of this bending, this curve that is here, so it won't appear on the trouser. So here is okay with 2 inch, here is okay with 2.5. So proceeding further, we are going to make use of the waist measurement. The waist measurement is 33 divided by 4. So let's divide our 33 by 4. This is 33. You take your tape from 1 inch to where the 33 inch is backward. You fold it first. This is divided by 2. What is it giving us here? It's giving us 16.5. So 16.5 divided by 2 again is now giving us 8.2. So 33 divided by 4 is 8.2. So what we do is, here is where the trouser itself stops. You minus ½ inch again. So when you minus ½ inch, is to make the back part of the trouser to curve because of the hip when you are cutting it out. So you take here from where your ½ inch stop, you place your tape, you take your measurement to where the 8.5 is. Don't forget, see how I placed my tape? I did not place it like this, I took it up straight. So you mark your 8.5, then you rather add 1 inch or 1.5 inch to the waist. That is your joining allowance. The allowance to join the front and the back, the two back together at the middle of your button. So after then you add, this is from here to here is 1 inch. So from here to here is 1.5 inch. So we are using 1.5 inch. Or probably let's just put 1 inch, so it will be very, very accurate. So using 1 inch, we are now to join it together. After this, then you measure 3 inch from the front of the waist up. Why do you need 3 inch? Because the front of the trouser is lower than the back of the trouser because of our hip. So to make 3 inch adding to it is to make the hip high, so that you won't be having problems, so that when your customer or your client is wearing it, it won't be having low waist, unless if that person wants to sag. So let's start. You add your 3 inch. Adding 3 inch is here. This is your 3 inch. So you mark again. You draw your full line, this time from where your ½ inch is to where your 3 inch stop. So this is the needed one. This one is not needed again. So now we are to join our allowance together. From the circumference of the ankle to the circumference of the leg together. Then from the circumference of the leg to where your lap measurement stop, including the lap allowance stop, you take it again. Then, is it really looking like trouser? Okay, let's add this one now to see if it's going to look like a trouser. Wow, not bad. Now we are through with our back pattern of the trouser. So also let me teach you what I said about this place. If it's for female, you have to really make it very, very curved. So you'll be taking it this way If it's for female, you'll be taking it this way. But we are not cutting for female, so this one is not necessary. We are cutting for male. So now let's cut it off. And let's see our handwork, what it looks like. Cut. Don't forget, it's fun to sew. Feel happy when you are cutting, so that you will also feel happy when you are sewing it. So you cut. So now we have to cut out here to start. Cut. So cut out the back so that the front and the back will have the same shape. You cut. Yes, cut. Keep cutting. Don't stop till you reach the end. You cut. You see, that's what this is supposed to say. This is saying cut. So here you fold this pocket backward, so you won't have to cut it off. Then you shape your trouser here. So shaping your trouser is like shaping the bottom to make it curve because of your bumper. Okay, you can see now that it's curved. This is the front back of the pattern. You can see how curved it is. Not really very curved for like the way female skirts or his cut. It's curved, but it's good like that. So now we have to remove our pin. Let's see what the back pattern look like. So here we shave out the circumference of the nail as well. Let's not forget about that. So let's see what it looks like. Wow, oh shape, well done. This is the front pattern, this is the back pattern. Together with these two, we can cut perfect trouser, especially for people like my size. This is actually